Hello everyone, I just finished watching Lock and Key and I'm really excited to talk about it. It is a show based on a series of graphic novels written by Joe Hill, who happens to be Stephen King's son and who's really tried not to get this piece of information out, but it does go out because he so strongly resembles his father, it's unmistakable. I generally find it very hard to binge watch TV shows because it's very difficult for me to just give long sittings like that. But this show, I was able to watch in two sittings in 2 days straight, so that really talks a lot about the show in itself. For me, Lock and Key was an absolute treat at a lot of levels. It kind of brought back all the scares that we used to have when we were kids, and so it was almost like revisiting my childhood once again. I have a huge thing for horror stories which have houses in them. And Haunting of the Hill House is something really great. I can't compare this show with Haunting of the Hill House, but that was another show which had a horror story linked to the idea of a house, and we have got another one here, Lock and Key, and it was quite enjoyable. One thing which I really liked about this show was that generally when we show a family, what is in focus is the dysfunctional aspect of the family, and it's like the disputes and the conflicts and all of those things take the foreground. But this was one show in which it was so pleasant and soothing to see that there is one family which has a lot of issues and they're fighting for that, but they are together. They are not ready to fall apart. They don't fight as much. They don't fight with each other. They fight against the issues that they have, and they stick together and they want to overcome that. And it was very positive to see that. The show is based on an award-winning graphic novel series, so definitely they had such strong raw material to work with when they started working on the show. But I think still it was quite a success as it manages to do a lot of things that we had seen in those graphic novels, and they've actually come alive on the screen. The cinematography is really cool. There are certain drone shots which are just simply awesome. And the house and the whole way the house has been shot, it's really beautiful because the house doesn't just come across as a house, it comes across as a whole character which is intended by the graphic novels as well, and it's really done in a very effective way. It's a story about a family who have suffered something really terrible in the past, and they have shifted to this new house which has a lot of secrets about it. And what I really liked about the story was that how the present was linked to the youth and the teenage years of the grown-ups, and then how that was in turn linked to a lot of other things, and the whole dynamics, and how the elder people were coming back and then trying to create a change and trying to put things together. And it's a very, very intelligently written story. There are parts in which I don't want to give out any spoilers, but there is a lot of stuff which has a lot to do with human psychology. And if you are a psychology student and if you have read psychology, it really makes you think what happens in the story, and what are they talking about. Something very similar to Inside Out, that animated Disney movie that we saw, which I liked again a lot. The kind of similar lines that we're working on, but that one was essentially a comedy and this one's horror. So definitely there's a huge difference in the treatment. But if you really start thinking about the things that they talk in the show, there's a lot of material for discussion. There's a lot of content which you can dwell upon. There's a lot of content which can actually make you reflect and think about human psychology. I'll make another video in which I will talk about this particular thing, and but that one will have some spoilers, so I need to wait for a while till a lot of people have actually watched the show so they don't get exposed to any kind of spoilers. One thing which unmistakably stood out was how close this was to Stephen King's work. There were so many instances when I was watching the show, I was like, okay, that is exactly how Stephen King used to write when in his earlier days, and that's exactly the thing that we have seen in it, that phenomenal Stephen King masterpiece. So and it was so charming to see all of that. And okay, and no spoilers. Maybe later I'll get into it. But there's a cameo which you need to watch out for in the ninth episode, and that was like really, oh wow, we've got someone on the screen. So towards the last two episodes, things do get predictable, and it might happen that by the end of the thing you would have already guessed what had happened and what was to happen. But personally it didn't really upset me as much, because I was watching this as a show, and the quantity of content that we have serving us these days, we can't really expect a complete structural innovation every time we sit down to watch a show. We have to give it that if so much of content is coming out, there are going to be things that you will be able to guess, because after all there's a limit to creativity as well. So that was the only downside of the show for me. Other than that, it's just that the first two episodes were slower compared to the rest of the episodes, but I don't really mind it, because it was nice getting to know the family also, and since I knew the kind of raw material it's based on, I knew things were coming, so that really didn't upset me, because I was assured that it's gonna get really exciting after a while. The whole idea of keys and magic attached to it, and a house which lets you get into that magic, I think it's really well done in the show. Given a chance, this is a show which I would definitely sit down and watch again, if not the whole of it, then in parts, because it's got an awesome amount of entertainment value. I've really enjoyed watching this show, and I hope you enjoy it too. And when you watch it, please do let me know. I'm always there to discuss all these shows on my YouTube channel, and I'll definitely respond to your questions and comments on my channel. I hope you like this video, and I have a small request for you. This is something new that I've just started, and I really want your support. So if you like the content, please do subscribe, like, comment and share this video. Thank you so much.